Hi guys, if you know me, you know I love my beef jerky. My husband and I actually started a trekking jerky right out of college, jerky company. We put it online, we sold it. We actually sold it to Australia one time. That was like the highlight, and then we kind of dropped it. And maybe we'll bring it back. But until then, I'm going to show you how to recreate trekking jerky at home. So, I'm traveling 10 days, and my go-to snack is beef jerky, right? It's satiating, right? Good protein, very clean ingredients. You want to buy grass-fed beef or local beef or any type of beef that you feel comfortable with. You can also do it with chicken. You can do it with turkey. You can do it with pork, any kind of meat, bison. All those types of meat will work. Even lamb, goat, whatever you got, jerkify it. I bought a huge 7.5 pound top round, grass fed. It wasn't grass finished, but it was bigger than this tray. It was like as big as my head. It'll probably dwindle down to about 3.5 pounds, which I probably will take the entire thing for my trip. That's why I made a batch yesterday and a batch today, so some will be left at home for John. Anyway, what I'm going to do is show you how to cut the meat, because cutting the meat is probably the most important. What you want to do is cut against the grain. So see that marbling right there? Here's with the grain. See how it stripes across? So the striping across, if you actually jerkify this, then you will pull a huge string of beef across as you bite into the jerky. If you jerkify the against the grain, you will pull little pieces, right? So it's a lot easier to eat. It's not as chewy too. So think about if you're grilling a steak, same thing. You never want to cut with the grain. It'll become really chewy. You always want to cut against the grain. So like a flank steak on the bias against the grain. Oh, maybe I'll cook that tonight. Anyway, that's besides the point. You can cut the beef jerky just with a knife. Bam, 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 bam. You can use my handy, get your own obviously, electric slicer. I'll just show you it really quick. Probably about 150 bucks. Makes things so efficient, and you want efficiencies in the kitchen because if it's not, you won't do it, right? So I like my beef slicer. It actually has gauges here, so you could cut it by the inch, by the quarter inch. You know, if you like it thin, if you like it thick. That's the best thing about making jerky at home is you get to pick how thick or thin, how dry or not dry you like it, and what you want on top of it. I personally like just a dry rub because I get more of the flavor of the meat. But if you like a wet rub, you can marinate it overnight or 2 nights and really allow the flavor to soak in. But I don't have time for that. Plus, I don't really like wet rubs. And the other thing about, because I'm in the natural foods industry, so I know consumer product goods really well. And the one thing I get so upset about with the beef jerky out there is they're always adding all these like extra wet ingredients to it to weigh down the package, because if you're buying 3 ounces and it costs $8, the majority of it is just all these extra ingredients you really don't need. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, come back to the real world, because I'm making my own beef jerky, so I don't have to buy that other stuff. The other thing you need is a dehydrator. You could do it in the oven, but I highly recommend investing in a dehydrator. This thing is about 70 bucks on Amazon. It's also got the temperatures of the meats that you want to do. It's got a timer and a temperature control thing. So let it go overnight, and you're good to go the next morning. It's awesome. Plus, what's really good about the dehydrator, it dehydrates other things. Fruits, vegetables, stuff that's kind of going bad in your refrigerator, save it by dehydrating it. Get your kids involved, right? Get them to season it. Get them to stack it one on top of the other. Get them to play with it. Have fun with it. If they create their own snacks, maybe they'll eat them too. That's what I do. Have a good night.